The old man was exhausted from his long walk into the country. Wandering into a field, breathing heavily, he sat down on a bench. He was so cold. The cold penetrated his clothes, seeped in through his skin and gripped his muscles and bones, sending spasms through his body. Along with the cold, he was overwhelmed with loneliness. He had been alone for a long, long time, but he had never before felt as lonely as he did now. The strain of his long walk was taking its toll, and the old man's heavy breath turned raspy. He began to cough a wheezy, whispering cough as he tried unsuccessfully to clear his lungs. The cough became violent and racked his whole body. Doubled over with the effort, he spat out a stream of phlegm and blood onto the ground beneath his feet. Catching his breath, he felt familiar stomach pains. He knew of only one cure for them. He reached into his jacket and pulled a bottle out from his inside pocket. He drank deeply, tilting the bottle until it was empty. Holding it to his mouth for a long second, he made sure he drank every last drop. He sighed as he felt the warmth of the alcohol course through him. He slid the bottle back into his pocket and tugged his jacket around him as if to hold the warmth in for a little longer. The warmth did not last for long, and as the coldness returned, the old man found his mind wandering back through the loneliness of his life. The city had been a rough, hard place for an old man, especially one who was cold, hungry, and without the strength to defend himself. He had survived on the charity of others, but the city had robbed him of everything he had loved. Thinking of everything he had left behind, and all that he had endured, he was determined to claw back one last ounce of dignity and not let the city claim him as well. Reaching into his jacket pocket, his fingers closed around the familiar, comforting cold metal of his harmonica. His most treasured possession, the secret to his survival in a cold world that had turned against him. He cradled his hands around it and held it to his lips to play for one last time the saddest, loneliest music he had ever played. As he returned his harmonica to his pocket, he heard a voice behind him. The old man turned, but there didn't seem to be anyone there. Only a scarecrow made of 2 sticks nailed into a cross, with a head made from a sandbag stuffed full of straw. The old man was startled as the scarecrow spoke to him again. The old man and the Scarecrow began to talk. The old man told the Scarecrow where he had come from and all that he had suffered during his life. The Scarecrow talked of how time had taken its toll on him too, and how he had lost his body to the elements. As they shared stories, they found they had a lot in common. After being alone for so long, both of them were happy to have found someone to talk to. The pair talked for many hours before the old man took out his battered old tobacco tin and rolled one last cigarette. They continued talking while they shared the cigarette. With the Scarecrow for company, the old man felt happy for the first time in a long time. Looking at the Scarecrow, the old man got up from the bench and removed his jacket. He hung the jacket over the Scarecrow's frame, pulled off his gloves and put them on the end of the Scarecrow's wooden arms, giving the Scarecrow back his body. The Scarecrow was worried that the old man would be cold, but the old man simply shook his head, saying he couldn't feel the cold anymore. The old man was feeling tired through to his bones. He lay down on the bench in the same way he had done so many times before back in the city. Reaching out to the Scarecrow, he took hold of his hand. "Goodbye, my friend." "Goodbye," whispered the Scarecrow. The Scarecrow kept hold of his hand until the old man had gone to sleep.